Here you go, Jobu. Oh, hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, well, I certainly wouldn't be closing in on 12,000. We're getting close. We're only about 100 some away, and I want to thank you guys so much for all the support. And all you people at training camp yesterday, it was fantastic meeting you. And let me say this much: if you see me in Jobu, please don't be afraid to come up. I want to meet you guys. I want to get you guys on a picture with you. I want to get you on a video and stuff, because I am nobody special. I am just a Dallas Cowboy diehard fan just like you. So please make sure you guys come up. Well, this is the day we've been dreading. And like I always say, the Dallas Cowboys will make you drink. And you see I've got this bottle of Havana Club. I couldn't find my good old regular rum here, so it's just going to have to do. Zeke Elliott's been suspended for 6 games, and as expected, he has appealed it. Now, issuing a statement, basically, his people have said, you cherry-picked the evidence. We have some more evidence that will exonerate him as well, and we think that you're wrong. Now, the question I have is this. Clearly, the NFL doesn't care about what a police department or district attorney has to say when they say they can't find evidence. They believe that they can be the court, judge, jury, and executioner and do what they want to do, which is fine. They're the employer. But my question is, because clearly they've spent more time on this case than any other. He was never charged, arrested, never went to court, never had a hearing, never had a judge and a jury decide his fate. They felt there wasn't enough evidence to do that. Yet the NFL says there is. So does that mean the NFL is now going to go through and investigate every allegation of domestic assault, even cases that have gone to jury and have been acquitted? Because clearly they don't think that the court system is doing the job. So does that mean that Jordan Lewis, who was just acquitted of domestic violence because he was accused by his ex-girlfriend of domestic violence, are they going to go through and spend a year-long investigation on him to see if the court system, clearly that they have no faith in, to see if there's anything there, as well as other people who have been accused of domestic violence? Because I don't know that they've spent this kind of time on any other case. If they have, please let me know. But here's the thing. Be that as it may. He's appealed, which means then it's then going to get kicked back to the NFL, and more than likely Roger Goodell will be the one that's deciding his fate again, or they'll have an arbitrator that'll decide it. The NFL could come back and say, okay, we're going to reduce it. However, their own policy is a 6-game minimum suspension on the first domestic violence situation. So if Roger Goodell is the one that says, okay, I'm going to reduce it, then he kind of looks like he's not really doing what he said he's going to do. Even though Josh Brown, during the time of this whole new domestic violence rules, his 6-game suspension was reduced to 1 until there was an outcry and a diary that came through basically stating everything the guy did, domestic violence to his wife over the years. So I don't see him doing that. The next step is Zeke takes it to court to say that this is not justifiable for the case and yada, 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 which is the route that Tom Brady went, which just kicked the can down the road to the point where finally he said enough is enough, I'll just take the suspension. So it's possible that we could have him for the first couple of games, and then Roger Goodell comes back and says, nope, I'm sticking by that, and then it gets kicked down the road, to next year, to the court system and things like that. But in the end, I think sooner or later, he's going to have to get suspended for some time. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But there is some good news here. So before you guys go through and try and steal Jobu's rum, or just try and tie one on tonight, our team is in better position to handle this than any other team. A couple years ago, I had a theory. It was GWD2 equals +1. No, I'm not Albert Einstein or anything like that. But this is my theory. The Great Wall of Dallas 2, our offensive line right now, is equal to +1 yard per carry. And to prove this theory, we can go back and we can just look at Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden's statistics. Let me make sure I get this right because Michael just beat me down when I did this recording earlier. Darren McFadden's 3 years before he came to Dallas, he had 3.3, 3.3, 3.4 yards average per carry. Not that good. In 2015, a year that our Dallas Cowboys offense was putrid, we had no passing game. Tony Romo was gone. Darren McFadden didn't even start until, I believe, the 4th or 5th game of the season, yet was 4th in the NFL in rushing with a, get this, 4.6 yard per carry average. That's right. He was 1.3 yards better than he had been the 3 years before behind that offensive line. Still not convinced? DeMarco Murray. Behind that offensive line, his last season here, 4.7 yards a carry. Fantastic. He goes to Philadelphia, 3.6. Now, Michael beat me down and said, well, he was like in the top 5 last year in rushing. Yeah, but his average was down to 4.3 per carry. So he carried the ball more times for more yards. But clearly, he took steps back once he got away from that offensive line. So the fact that we have Darren McFadden, who is just 2 seasons away from being the 4th leading rusher in the NFL, the fact that you've got an Alfred Morris back there, our offense is okay. Now, the other thing you have to understand, too, is our offense uses the run a lot, don't get me wrong. But we're not like the Minnesota Vikings that only had Adrian Peterson, and when AP went down, the whole offense went in the tank. You have a stud quarterback. You have a Dez Bryant who's been healthy all offseason, who is excited and ready to go, and I think that combination is going to be deadly on its own. You're going to see Dak Prescott with all these guys that say he's not an elite quarterback or he's a dinking and dunking guy. He's going to prove to them that he is one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. You throw into that mix Father Time, who Jason Witten has never been fast, but always is open. You get a Terrence Williams on the outside. You get Cole Beasley in the slot. You add to that Ryan Switzer. You can have a double slot formation. Oh, Rico Gathers. He can't block real well yet, but with his height, his size, his leaping ability is another threat. So imagine, if you will, our great 5 offensive linemen. Empty backfield. And you have Dez Bryant on the outside. You have Ryan Switzer. You got Terrence Williams. You got Jason Witten. And you got Rico Gathers. Oh, and Cole Beasley. I'm sorry. I think I got one guy too many in there. Who are you going to stop? Teams won't have enough cornerbacks out there to stop all the weapons. So, guys, step away from the ledge. We're going to be okay. And the final thought on this is, once he comes back, I guarantee you he's going to have a major chip on his shoulder. And he is going to be ready to rock and roll and will run roughshod through the NFL. We'll be talking about this and more in a couple hours when we live stream as usual on Friday nights. It's actually 6 o'clock here on the West Coast, 9 o'clock Eastern on the East Coast. It's going to be different for me doing it at 6 o'clock in the evening, but hey, got to do what you got to do for them Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report.
This is Big Al from San Diego, California, holding the famous Jobu. This is our charm. This is the charm. This is what's going to take us to the Super Bowl. It's 2018. I said it right here in Oxnard, California. Thank you.